Welcome back, University of Dice. Dave here, and this is another episode of Lessons Learned, where we talk about all of the mistakes that we make, so hopefully we don't make them again as we build an audience here, and I hope we do, but if we don't, it still helps me. I hope we share the same sorts of things in the comments. So, what have I goofed up this time? Well, not a lot of impactful Pokemon play for me recently. Gearing up for Pittsburgh, haven't been able to get to any cups or challenges. Nothing's really been scheduled around me anyway, except for something I couldn't make because I was busy going to Nine Inch Nails. Wait, going to Cleveland to see Nine Inch Nails, not going to Nine Inch Nails to see Cleveland. It was nice to see Cleveland, but I wasn't there to see Cleveland. In any case, that's where I was. It was a pretty good concert. In this situation, I was doing some in-person play testing with some folks at a local store. Everybody's getting ready for Pittsburgh, of course. And I had a play where it was clearly all I needed to do was boss KO. It wasn't for the win, but it was for another 2 prizes. That was the play though. Boss KO. Look at the board. Yeah, let's get rid of that. Look at my hand. I can do that. I have the boss. We're good. But now I'm looking through my hand and thinking, well, is there anything else I should do before I commit to the attack and end my turn? And I'm thinking, and I'm looking, and I'm thinking, and I'm looking at the board and my hand and the board and my hand. And then I play a different supporter and do something else that's not boss KO. And then I'm like doing the supporter action and I'm like, wait a minute. I can't boss KO now. Like, what am I doing? No, it was play testing. So we wound it back as best as we could and then continued on from there. And I did do the boss KO. But of course, in a real game, we're not going to have that luxury. But my main concern is, what even caused that short circuit to happen in the first place? I really don't want that to happen to me at Pittsburgh, or really any time that I'm playing ever, but especially not when I'm at something with a little bit higher stakes than a playtesting game, you know? And certainly this is not the only time that we can look to recently where someone just completely tunnel visioned on a play. I'm thinking, of course, of NAIC, which we're showing right now. That was difficult. I felt it in that moment. So why did I short circuit like that to begin with, when I knew the play and had reasoned through with myself what the play was? I can't say it was tunnel vision, because if it was tunnel vision, I would have just made that play and been done with it and not thought about anything else. So the only thing I can think of, and this is nice because it's going to dovetail awesomely into the next little bit longer video that I'm doing, probably next week, I think it was cognitive overload. I think I said, okay, this is what I'm going to do. Now let's sit it aside and look through my other stuff. And at that point, I had it in my working memory. And as soon as I'm looking at and considering other plays, I overwrote it. And it was just gone. Poof, off into the ether, but in the bad way. Not the way that we're hoping the mistakes will go away, but in the way where I just like completely forgot about boss. That's something that happens. Our working memory can only hold a few bits of information at a time, 3 to 4. We're going to talk more about this soon, I promise. And I think I just overwrote it, forgot it, and then did the other play. And it wasn't until I looked at what I had afterwards that I said, wait a second, I needed to play boss. So I think the answer in the short term is to try to create some sort of a physical reminder for me when I have that sort of thing in hand. But it's like, okay, this is the play, but I want to look at this stuff. I don't know, it could be like keeping the one card in one hand and looking through the rest of my deck with the other, because I have big enough hands I can hold it that way. Maybe it's sitting the card down, face down, of course, in a obvious spot. Though I don't know if I like taking it out of my hand because I could forget it. And plus, I got to just double check what the rules are. Maybe it'll be picking up one of my markers and holding it behind that card, just so that I remember. I use like little custom-made Fuecoco coins that my wife made for me. Yeah, they're pretty cute. That's what I use to mark my abilities because I love Fuecoco. He's my little silly boy. But in any case, maybe it's holding that behind the card so that I just like, oh, it's there. Like tying the proverbial knot around your finger. I'm not sure what the right answer is. I'll have to experiment with some things. But I need to have some sort of a physical reminder that this is the line of play that I need to do. This is the priority so that I don't sit it aside while I'm looking at the rest of the board. And realistically, sometimes that is just the right play, especially when it's a supporter. You only get to do one of those per turn. So if your supporter is what you have, and you kind of already know what else is in your hand, you can write off any other supporter. Maybe that's the other thing. If I know that a supporter is the priority, is the thing I need to do, just set aside those other supporters that might be in my hand and forget that they exist so that I don't forget the important one exists. Either way is something that I'm looking to clean up in my prep as we go forward. How about you? What foibles have you been up to with your playtesting? Let me know, and if you see me in Pittsburgh, say hi. Bye.